We're delighted to have Jim Rogers, chairman of Rogers Holdings, right here on set. Well, thank you so much for making the trip. Let's begin with a look at the commodities, especially oil. We've got concerns about China tightening. We also have this speculation that's going to come on to the commodities trade. Also have the overarching theme of oversupply in the markets. What would you do with oil at this moment?
Nothing. I'm not buying oil. I'm not selling oil. I own oil, but oil's gone up a whole lot. I wouldn't buy it, but over the next decade or so, oil's going to go much, much, much higher because known reserves of oil are declining at a very rapid rate. I'm a horrible market timer. I'm a terrible short-term trader, but I do know the world's reserves, known reserves, are running out.
Where's the best place to be as far as investments are concerned in the commodity space?
I wish I was smart enough to know that. Just watch CNBC and you can find out. You don't need to ask me. I just say, you have guys every day who can tell you all these things. I'd rather buy agriculture, but I would have said that to you a year ago. I probably did say that a year ago.
Right.
Silver.
Sugar?
Well, sugar's gone up a lot. I mean, sugar's up a whole lot. It's still, however, down 70% from its all-time high, even though it's making 28, 30-year highs right now. That just shows you how depressed agricultural commodities are. I'd rather buy something like cotton or coffee, or there are plenty of things that are still more depressed. I'm not selling sugar. I own sugar.
Jim, tell us more about the agricultural trade. You have been recommending it for some time now. Has your thinking developed over that time?
Sure. I mean, it's gotten better. The fundamentals have gotten better. The inventories are now at the lowest they've been in decades, not in years, but the first time I told you about it, the inventories are the lowest in years. Now it's the lowest in decades. Things are getting worse. Many farmers cannot get loans to buy fertilizer now, even though we have big shortages developing. No, sometime in the next few years, we're going to have very serious shortages of food everywhere in the world, and prices are going to go through the roof.
What's the best way to get in then, Jim? Whereabouts in the world are the best investments in agriculture? Where specifically sector-wise?
Well, normally one would buy, would buy the commodities themselves. The studies all show that you would make, or the studies show you would have made 300% more over the past several decades buying commodities themselves rather than buying commodity stocks, Becky. But if you're a good stock picker, by all means, go to it. You'll make a fortune. But most people are not good stock pickers, I'm afraid.
What about gold?
Well, I own gold. I certainly own gold. I wouldn't think of selling my gold. If gold goes down a couple $100, I hope I'm smart enough to buy more. No, the gold is going to be much higher over the next decade.
Jim, what are your thoughts on how the earnings season is shaping up in the States?
Excuse me 1 second,
Alcoa seems to miss.
One second, Rebecca. I was just going to say to Chloe, if you want to buy precious metals, I'd rather buy silver or palladium. I own them all, just because they're cheaper than gold. Sorry, Rebecca, go ahead.
No, thanks for finishing the point, Jim. Just wanted to get your thoughts on the earnings season. Obviously, we had Alcoa missing expectations, which seemed to worry investors a little. But then Intel really strong in last night's trade after hours. How do you think that the kind of corporate picture in the States is shaping up this time around?
Well, Becky, as far as I'm not a short-term trader, but as far as I can see the world, I don't think that the problems of the world are behind us yet, because we're still going to have a lot more problems. I'd rather play with commodities, because if the world economy gets better, commodities are going to lead the way because of the shortages. If the world economy is not going to get better, you're not going to make money in stocks, but you are going to make money in commodities because they're printing so much money. And if the world economy does not get better, Becky, they're going to print a lot more money. So why bother with stocks when you're going to make a whole lot more either way in commodities than in stocks? And I don't know the answer to whether things will get better anytime soon.
All right, well, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for, appreciate you coming on to our show. Jim Rogers there, chairman of Rogers Holdings, and certainly have a great weekend.